180. What the heck? Okay. Is that everything? Okay. That's everything. The banjo may have to come out. Banjo very may well come out. I don't know. Control/. Boom. Okay. All right. Banjo's coming out, dude. Banjo's coming out. if I'm down here, this is pretty good. Try to warn y'all. Try to warn y'all. The banjo's coming out, dude. You don't get no choice. Okay. So if I go like here. Banjo's coming out, dude. I try to warn you. I try to warn you, and we're still learning the Star Spangled Banner. Because learning's not a one-day thing. Learning isn't. What's not happening? Yeah. I lost my place, dude. And that's it. Okay. How was that? Out of 10? What are we thinking? What are we thinking out of 10? Possibly a 4.5. That was quite possibly a 4.5. Because I know at some point I'll be able to go like a hit like a. No, it's. Where is it? I don't know. If there are any songs you want me to learn, I can learn. That could be a thing. That could be a thing. Any songs? Any song suggestions for me to learn? That could work. That could work quite well, probably. Or maybe not. I don't know. Let me like my own stream. Yeah, I like my own stream. Oh, oh. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we like our own streams around here. That's just how we do it. That's just how we go. Sup, Mr. John Doug, 9099. How you feel about last night? How you feel about that? About that McGregor? This is a support stream. This is to either talk about next week, or we just help each other through the disappointment that was UFC 329. So, I mean, you take the reign of control, but we'll get through this together. Is all I know. That's all I know. Correct. Like I was saying, if you have any easy song that you would like me to try and learn on the banjo, that could be a part of the streams. You could maybe tell me this one day, and a week later you'll check up on me, and I could be 20% of the way there to learning the song. You never know. You never know. But McGregor Holloway too hurt my soul. It hurt my soul. I thought the event was pretty good. Main event wasn't a huge disappointment for me because honestly, I haven't been looking forward to McGregor for the past few years. You know, that's fair. I've just started watching UFC. I think my first real card was UFC 322. Like the first one where I really got hardcore into it was UFC 322. Uh, maybe I've heard his name too much, but McGregor doesn't intrigue me. Okay, okay. I get that. It was just disappointing on the fact that I love Holloway. Holloway's my favorite fighter, and that fight for him is almost like wasted time. You know what I'm saying? We could have gotten Roofy, Holloway Pimlet or something. And that's what got you into the UFC. Funny enough, I played the games first before I started watching UFC. You know what I'm saying? I played UFC 4 first because I had a class and we were having free time. So we did one day in our class, my junior year, we did a UFC 4 tournament. And I was like, this game's pretty fun. And then I got home, downloaded it, played it with some of my friends. And then I go, well, if I'm playing this game, I should probably look into it. I watch UFC. Dude, before the White House card, people weren't complaining that McGregor wasn't on it. Interesting. Oh, hello, Mr. Blue Jay. Hey, man, hope all is well. Who do you think Pieta will fight next? Yeah, McGregor's he's such a polarizing name and such a big name where he gets the hardcores out, where if McGregor's not there, they aren't watching. So I can see why people weren't really complaining about him not being on the White House card because they didn't have that in mind. And then he's back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Mr. Blue Jay, I'm doing well. You know, I'm disappointed. They wasted a fight for Holloway. And it's not his prime. I won't say Holloway's not in his prime. But after he's like slowly descending from his peak, and they wasted it on a McGregor fight where Holloway got no closer to the belt. Disappointing. But yeah, I think I would love Patty Oliveira. I actually would love Patty Oliveira because I'm unsure how Patty Oliveira goes now. I'm unsure. If Lopez moves up, I want to see Patty Lopez, but they'll probably do Patty Ilya. Patty Ilya is a great one. Patty Ilya is a very good one. Lopez Patty's also sick. The thing is, I just want to see Patty Oliveira. Saying Patty versus Ilya Topuria is next, but Topuria's face seriously jacked up. If you've seen photos recently, Topuria's face is good. Some photos recently, actually, I'll see if I can bring it up. People on Twitter have been posting like Ilya Topuria was found at like an event where a fan took a picture, and he did not look that bad. Topuria did not look that bad at all. And almost fell over, dude. See if I can find it. Topuria face. Have you all seen the picture where they have a picture of Ilya Topuria and they put a mohawk on him, and they're saying Ilya Topuria's new look is crazy? That's a good joke. I like that joke. Where is it, dude? I can't find it. Anyways, Topuria basically that he was looked at. They looked at him at an event, and his face looked fine. He was wearing glasses or something, but he was fine enough where Topuria could be back by the end of the year, start of next year. Topuria, it depends on how long he wants to be out. So say Topuria does want to take a long break, he wants to wait, but he already took a long break in between Oliveira and Gaethje. He needs to get back in there, honestly. If Topuria is smart, he'll get back in there quick. But I don't know. But yeah, if Lopez moving up is really gonna throw a wrench into things. Because who do you give him? Maybe you give him like a Fiziev or a Dan Hooker. That'd be a fun fight. Lopez Hooker, and then you give like because you got to give Armin to either Oliveira, Pat, or Patty, and you got to give basically there's three people kind of in the mix. It's Oliveira, Armin, and Patty. Even though Patty just fought for the belt, so maybe Patty's not really, it's just Armin and Oliveira. One person you give the title shot, one person you have them fight a contender. It could be something like that. It's tough to match up because of how kind of logjam and then you have to ask, is Gaethje coming back? If Gaethje doesn't come back, then you do just Armin Oliveira 2 for the vacant belt. Now that's a sick fight. You do Armin Oliveira 2 for the vacant belt, and then you do Patty Topuria. If Topuria doesn't want to come back, then you do like a Patty Lopez, a Patty. Who's coming off a win? I saw someone saying they should have made Patty and Max fight each other last night since they both took no damage in their fights. Yes, dude. They should have, because that was awful. They probably could have. I don't know. I'd pick Holloway in that fight, just because Pimlet doesn't have a takedown threat. He just has a submission threat where you can't take him down. He's very Diego Lopez-esque, but he doesn't have the power of Lopez. Did you bet on the fight? So many Conor bettors are pissed off. I did see that, Blue Jay. I did see a lot of people like Los Pollos TV made like a video saying like Conor McGregor. He called him out like Chandler. He called out Conor McGregor like Michael Chandler. Conor McGregor, you absolutely suck. Saying that if you bet on Conor McGregor, you deserve to have your money gone. I'm joking. That was a kind of a dumb fight. I bet on the fights and I lost. I gained $20. I bet $10, gained 20. But listen to this. I would have won like 2K had Gable Steveson, Elijah Ellison go a little bit longer. So I had Alessandro Costa finish. I had Ryan Gander knockout. Farid Basher had 2.5 takedowns, more than 2.5. I had a knockout for Adrian Yanez. And then I had Elijah Ellison versus Gable Steveson going less than 2.5 minutes. It went 2.52 minutes. Because Mark Goddard, who was the ref? Was it Mark? Mark Goddard took too long to stop the fight. Took too long. And then I also had Terrence McKinney lasting under 2.5, but that would have lowered it from $2.5 to like $100. But I still got 200 because I had a Patty Pimlet finish and a Holloway finish. It was just unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I love Patty, but starting to get John Cena vibes. I think he's far away from Cardinal stardom. I wish him well, but him versus Ilya next would be insane. Michael Blasco, good to see you back, man. Good to see you back. By the way, I saw that you had chatted in the stream last time, and I was doing 2 streams, so I didn't see your chat, so I do apologize. My YouTube setup is weird. It like makes me do 2 streams at the same time somehow. So I don't know how that happens. So I get 2 chats, but I can only look at one. So it's very weird. But yeah, I think Pimlet, especially because it was on the McGregor card, him getting that submission is the best thing possible. He's close to McGregor's fame. I don't think we'll ever have a fighter get to McGregor's fame though. We'll never have that happen again. I really think that was a once in a lifetime kind of thing, which is unfortunate because it was in like the older era. Chilling, great channel. Thank you, Michael Blasco. Thank you, Michael Blasco. But yeah, Pimlet is a big fighter. He is a big name. It's just the Pimlet beat or the Justin Gaethje beatdown was not too long ago. Is the thing. It was January. I think he needs one more to really clear his name, and if he wins that in style too, like if he beats Oliveira, if they do give him Oliveira and he beats Oliveira, that's skyrocketing his power. That's skyrocketing him. Because that's the only person I see him. He could beat Arman. He could beat Oliveira. Arman likes to shoot in lazily too. Arman's shots are a little bit better time though, and he sets it up a lot better than BSD. But I could definitely see with how many times Arman was getting caught in a guillotine with Dan Hooker, where Dan Hooker will let you roll out. Pimlet actually stops you rolling out and uses that momentum from you rolling out to get into another submission, into that Darce, into that Anaconda. I don't know, dude. Patty Pimlet versus Arman Tsarukyan just became so much more interesting. Oliveira, because he does like body lock takedowns and stuff, and it's a lot of upper body stuff, I could see him getting away with grappling with Pimlet on that initial takedown, and him getting away and not getting having a submission threat on him. But it's still interesting too, even with Oliveira. So I'm very interested. The only thing is Pimlet's not going to take like these. Like I don't think Pimlet can beat Holloway. Like these pure strikers that have really good Holloway doesn't have good takedown defense, but Pimlet doesn't wrestle. He doesn't have wrestling. So like honestly, I could see Pimlet would probably lose to Fiziev if we're being honest. But he'd beat Gamrot. That's the weird thing about Pimlet. What was going through BSD's mind during that choke? That was fast. Dude, he was probably like, all right, I'm going to roll out of this. I'll be fine. And mid-roll, because escaping, well, it's mainly for guillotines. But rolling through is such an effort. Dude, he was like, all right, I'll roll out of this and I'll get it done. I'll roll out of this and knocked out that quick. That was insane. It was impressive how fast he latched that up. Very, very. Oh wait, I saw. Yeah, I read that already. Yeah, they could have done Patty Pimlet and Max Holloway that same night. That would have been so funny. You get like 3 main events. Get 2 main events. You just do Max Holloway, Patty Pimlet. I think probably Max would win that, but I don't know. I was really excited for Holloway. I just wanted to see a fight though. That's the most disappointing thing. I wanted to see a fight. I wanted to see what it looked like. Because what I was saying in the build-up was Holloway is the most dynamic striker McGregor's ever fought. He's only really fought pure boxers or grapplers. Like Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier, pretty strong boxers. And then like early Holloway wasn't even that dynamic. And then you had like the Habib. Then you had the Cerrone. Even he's not that dynamic. I wanted to see how McGregor would deal with a guy who's so dynamic. Spinning back kicks, oblique kicks, jumping, spinning back kicks, stuff like that. I just wanted to see that, but we'll never see it, unfortunately. And I don't like Max calling out for the trilogy. Max calling out for the trilogy so badly shows me that he's in it for the money. Who do you have between RoboCop and Fluffy? That's a main event, right? That's an Apex main event. This is tough. This is tough because RoboCop has very good grappling. He has very good jiu-jitsu. But he's so powerful, a couple takedowns could get him gassed. He's the type of guy who Fluffy could run his game plan on, takedown spam, get him gassed, just work that cardio game. And Fluffy isn't chinny. He's chinny to the body, but he is chinny. But will RoboCop go to the body? He doesn't really have any moves that go to the body. Gonna happen in August. Like he could start ripping to the body. I could see him doing that. How Fluffy RoboCop gets clinched a lot. Yeah. The worry thing is with that much power, dude. With how much with how much power RoboCop has, I think one body shot or one or two good body shots will probably put Fluffy down, which is unfortunate. But that's just his kryptonite, and a lot of people know it now. You know, I picked Strickland to beat Fluffy because I knew I thought the body shots would come into factor later. I didn't think Strickland would just because the Strickland hit Fluffy with the knee to the body. That did not look like a big knee to the body. Was it just me? Or did y'all think that was like a nasty knee to the body? I thought it was a good knee to the body. I thought that was like a Bo Nickel Rainer DeRitter knee to the body. Where like, ooh, okay. That's a hit, but that hurt him bad. Of course, RoboCop's a lot different. He plods around. RoboCop is a ploddy plodster for middleweight, so I could see Fluffy getting off on there. I very much so. Yeah, if RoboCop targets the body, that's going to be worrying. I think I'm with you. Probably early right now. I am more Fluffy just because of how plotty RoboCop is. Do you think Hockett baits any of the weight bullies to heavyweight? He could. He hasn't really. I mean, he's taken jabs at Yuri. I don't think Yuri will ever go to heavyweight. He's taking jabs at Paulo Costa. I don't know if Paulo Costa will go to heavyweight, but he definitely could bait people. I've seen. I've seen a lot more. You know, Nate Diaz did the same to Conor McGregor, baited him up to welterweight. So nothing's impossible. It's just who. The thing is, Josh Hockett wants to make a name for himself. He wants money fights. I know he wants the belt too, but he does want money fights at the end of the day. Who is going to be a huge name that he can bait up to heavyweight? Strickland? Strickland could be a heavyweight, light heavyweight. I don't know. I don't know if Strickland would be a heavyweight. It'd have to be light heavyweight. He'd either have to meet him down if he wants to get the more popular guys like Usman or Dricus or Strickland. He'd have to meet them at light heavyweight. If he wants to have them come up to heavyweight to his domain, I could see him maybe getting to Yuri, but even then, Yuri doesn't cut any weight. He'd have to bulk. Maybe he could get like under Jan Blachowicz again. Ilya? Yeah, Ilya at heavyweight, dude. That man Ilya? I could see it, dude. I could see they do like a in the middle and he goes to middleweight. Him and Ilya go to middleweight. Alright, let's settle this. What did y'all think of Gable Stevenson's debut? I'm just gonna say, dude, not impressed. Not impressed with Gable Stevenson's debut. I listened to like MMA Guru and Bedtime MMA's reaction to it, and they were like, dude, he looked decent, and it's like he looked awful in my opinion, dude. He had very good kicks to the body. I said that on the live stream. Very very nasty kicks to the body. Those were like the most precise and clean part of his game was the kicks to the body. But he shot in for a takedown, got it stuffed. He said in the post fight, like in an interview after the fight, "Oh, I just shot a takedown to get him worrying." You don't do that. Like you're just making that up. You did not shoot a takedown going, "I'm just gonna fail this takedown real quick." You wanted to get that takedown. Able to show a lot of good kicks, but he was too hittable. Yeah. Like I was on the fence if Sergey Pavlovich or not Pavlovich, Sergey Spivak would beat him. I think Sergey Spivak beats up on Gable Stevenson. I think somebody who can take one to give one. It's gonna be a rough night for Stevenson, dude. I think Spivak beats him. I think maybe Ante Delija could probably catch him, if I'm being honest. Like these lower ranked heavyweights are beating him. Now, of course, that's not saying he can't improve. But I was very unimpressed. Very unimpressed. Like Josh Hockett, he had a lot more experience. To be fair, he was like 8-0 or something by the time he came into the UFC. Maybe 7-0. But still, like Hockett rolls with punches very well. A lot more defensively sound comparatively. And the combinations that Hockett throws are a lot cleaner. Like Gable Stevenson swings and he swings. So like he swings for the fences. And he overswings a lot. And I know there's not a lot of counter punchers at heavyweight, but still, it is a worrying thing. But yeah, I wasn't the most impressed with his performance. I was not impressed with his performance, but you know, he can't get better. He can't get better. Just not. I don't know. People were calling him a world beater. That he'd be a world beater off rip. Kid ain't even a wife beater, or is he? Or is he? We don't know. Loophole. But I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, his front kick to the body was very clean though, very crisp. Crisp front kick to the body. But I don't know. Now, actually, let me see. Who would I pair up Whittaker? Whittaker just win. Let's see who we pair up. I may have to make an every fight to make next. I may just hop on that train. Okay. By the end of the day, really? I could punch in the armbar. Punching the armbarring Stevenson would be crazy. That's very plausible. That's very, very plausible, dude. I could see Hockett out. He'd probably want to KO Stevenson, or maybe he'd want to wrestle with Stevenson and show him what's up. I don't know, that his wrestling did not look crazy good. I know he only shot like 1 or 2 takedowns, but still. If you're an Olympic gold medal wrestler against a guy's name who is Alicia Ellison, and you shoot a takedown and you don't get it, what are we doing? You're an Olympic gold medal wrestler and you're doing that? I don't know. Was really Krylov was not ranked, huh? At light heavyweight. So Whittaker needs a fight to get into the light heavyweight rankings. I think Whittaker would beat Alonzo Minifield. Dude, Whittaker versus Dustin Jacoby. What do I think of Bo Nickel? Bo Nickel's pretty good. You know, I like Bo Nickel a lot more than other people. I think I'm a little bit higher than other people. I picked him to KO Kyle Dawkins. But he did it in the round 1. I was expecting him to get like a ground and pound TKO in like the later rounds, but he's still so open. That's the thing with wrestlers; they're just so open because they want to grit down and throw with some heat, but they overthrow a lot. And Bo Nickel also overthrows a lot. He also loves his same dip down overhand right. He loves that. Like that is if you could bet on one fighter throwing a punch, bet on Bo Nickel throwing his step in, head dip down, overhand right. Because he's going to throw it every single fight, multiple times in a row. And I know middleweights aren't as technical, but you get against somebody like Kyle Baralho, an Adesanya, even like a Brendan Allen and Joe Pyfer, they're going to catch you off of that. Hot take, I could see Nickel beating Fluffy. I agree with that, actually. I kind of agree with that. Again, I haven't seen his wrestling be that crazy, looking back at it. I haven't seen his wrestling be that crazy. But I still do think that he has the fundamentals to beat Fluffy. The only thing is, does he get out hustled by Fluffy? I don't know his gas tank. That's something we haven't really seen. Is what is Bo Nickel's gas tank really like? I know he went 3 rounds with Craig. He never went 5 with DeRitter. So it just be does Fluffy overtake him in the later rounds? Feel bad for Connor. Dead dog look while he was walking out. Sometimes God will test strength one notch further. Time to heal. That's true. I saw him go on Twitter. He went on Twitter, talked about it. First off, let's just read. I'll read. Someone in another chat was telling me Ateba beats Nickel. I was like, nah, dude, Ateba's is awful. Ateba is actually awful. I don't think Ateba would probably lose to Nickel at this point. Maybe not. Maybe he would counter Bo Nickel on that overhand right, but I don't know. There we go. All right, let's read off some. These are the tweets that McGregor posted. All right, so 23 hours ago, right after the fight was done, McGregor tweets, "My head gasket is gone, destroyed. I had no injuries going into the fights. I was throwing kicks, planting and jumping all throughout camp as well as backstage before the fight. This came out of nowhere. I'm beyond dark here. It can only be described as hell." That I was when I saw this, like I was like, oh, he's doing cocaine right now. But then he shows I was so sharp. What is that? 4 hours later, he tweets, I was so sharp and so ready for this fight. I cannot believe what was happening, or what has happened. The talk of me being off while walking into this fight is nonsense. I was calm, ready, and confident. I'm in shock what has taken place. The devil is literally staring at me right in front of my face. I am not engaging. I will be at church tomorrow. I'll overcome this. I will not be deterred. I will return. Okay. And then he finally tweets, I believe in one God, the Father Almighty Maker. Oh, and then he posts like a Bible quote, I think. Very long Bible quote, ends it with Amen. I think he'll be fine. I don't know. It's a tough pill to swallow for McGregor. But I think part of humbling is showing like you can't be all of that even in the sport that you think you're all that, you know? I've seen people say like we need to see McGregor Mayweather 2 in boxing. Shut up, dude. I do not want to see McGregor Mayweather 2. Who wants to see that? Are you religious, bro? I am. I am. I'm not as good as I should be. I haven't gone to church on Sundays like I should be. But I would call myself religious. I would. I try to be. You know, I'm not the best person ever, but I like to think that that one day I will be the person that I want to be in terms of religiousness. Yeah, he's going through what his sketches, the medication he will have to take to get the knee fixed. Got to stay strong. Yeah, that's what got him. That's what got him the first time. That's what got him the first time. Having to get on that. Luckily, I've heard it's a meniscus tear. I don't know if y'all watch football. I love Malik Neighbor, or I don't love Malik Neighbors, but I love him for the Giants. Guess what happens, dude? Gets his meniscus tear, an ACL blown up, and now McGregor, dude. First Neighbors, now McGregor. Who's next, dude? Jackson Dart's coming in with concussions already. It's over. My goodness, dude. It's not looking good. But I think it just depends on how long it takes for McGregor to come back. How long do you think he takes? Comes back, he probably won't be coming back April next year. Probably be at least another year before he comes back. And how old is he? How old is Conor McGregor? 37. He's 37. I don't know. Maybe he comes back at 40. Again, I honestly think they may have to do McGregor Chandler at welterweight. You know what I'm saying? They may have to do McGregor Chandler at welterweight, which I would not hate. I think McGregor Chandler could be fun. Chad Ochocinco once said all the soft tissue tears because athletes are eating like rabbits, whatever the scientists tell them. Because they're eating like rabbits, eat whatever the scientists tell them. So you think it's like you're not eating good enough? You're eating too many fruits and veggies, and you're not getting enough protein for that muscle to heal properly? I could see it. I don't know though. I hope that isn't what happens. But it must have been what happened for McGregor to just instantly blow out like that. I don't know. I really don't know. It's a tough pill to swallow, like I said. But you know, what was the last thing in my stream title? DDP beats Usman. Oh yeah, next week, dude. You know what? Let's stop being sad. Let's stop being sad, dude. Because next week is Duplessis Usman, and I think Duplessis gets it done. I think he does. Looking back at the Duplessis Joaquin Buckley fight, dude, how Buckley's just chucking off the takedowns in rounds 3, 4, and 5, mainly 4 and 5. I could see Duplessis shaking them off way earlier and hitting a lot harder, having combos a lot better than Joaquin Buckley. So I honestly think DDP late rounds TKO is not that crazy, not that crazy. I think, and then because if you the thing that really helps is You watch Usman Joaquin Buckley, and you're like, man, Usman dominated Joaquin Buckley. And then you watch Sean Brady Joaquin Buckley, where Sean Brady does what Usman did, but 10 times better. 10 times better. Brady absolutely controlled Buckley on the ground and got him in full mount whenever he wanted to, and Usman was just camping in half guard or whatever. I think DDP gets it done. Took a leadership class 8 years ago with Khalil Roundtree and Dominic Cruz. I don't know much about UFC back then, but they look but knew they fought. Now I'm mad I wasn't up to speed. Dude, my butt hurts because of my middle finger, gang. Not going to lie, bro. Interesting. That's very interesting. Is that because of the McGregor injury, or was that just a mishap? Was that a possible mishap, or was that because of the McGregor injury? We don't know. Maybe McGregor got injured the same way. Maybe McGregor had the same injury as you, Mr. Firm Payload. But Michael Blasco, you had a leadership class with Cruz and Roundtree, dude. Man, Cruz seems like a cool guy. Cruz does seem like a cool guy. Khalil, I mean, maybe it's just because of the bias of him coping for Hamzat Chimaev against Strickland. Like him and Bear and all that Jackson podcast group are coping so hard for Chimaev, but it's like it's hard to like them when you see them just lie just because they like Chimaev and they just put down Strickland. But I hope you get better firm payload. By the way, they sell like donut rings where you sit on and it's around the butt at Walmart. So you may have to invest in that. That may be an investment opportunity for you. I don't know. Maybe just get like an inflatable tube. That could help. That's also good for the summer. I know summer's about to be ending, but you still get it in time. Major Cope social reactions were hilarious. Yeah. Like a lot of people are making fun of it sucks to see McGregor going out sad. Dude. It sucks a lot, dude. Especially because like I said, he's probably gonna come back at 38, 39, maybe 40s when if he does come back, he'll probably have to come back near then. That's what I'm saying. Just hey, keep Chandler on ice. Keep Chandler on ice. Don't let him fight anymore. Because he's gonna lose his mind. Just tell him, hey dude, the McGregor fight is for real this time. It's for real this time. Don't get injured. But this time the McGregor fight is real, so just stay healthy, and they make McGregor Chandler at welterweight. I think that'd be fine. Or Chandler wanted to move up to welterweight either way. Dude, it'd be so funny if Chandler was there and he fights Holloway, back up for McGregor Holloway, and McGregor's the one who gets injured, so he steps in to fight Holloway. That'd be so funny. But yeah, the cope for Chimaev was so funny because a lot of people were saying cope for Alex Pereira. They're making fun of Alex Pereira's cope, and then guess what? Chimaev cope, dead silence. Alex Pereira cope though, they're all on it. Very strange. Very strange. Just give him a layup for his last fight. Bring back Nate Diaz. I think Chandler would be a layup. No, maybe not because of how explosive he is and how dangerous he is. He could knock out McGregor. But after that Roofy fight, I think McGregor, like that Roofy fight, Chandler looked so bad, so awful. I know we didn't really get to see so much of McGregor, what he looked like from the turn, but I still think, crud, I still think he'd probably be better than what Chandler looked like against Roofy. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Do you know MMA Joey? I do. I know MMA Joey, and I'm not happy that I know who MMA Joey is. McGregor versus Derek Lewis on the Ireland lawn? Now wait a minute, Michael Blasco. Now wait a minute, dude. That may be the strat. That might be the strat. But yes, I do know MMA Joey, Mr. John Dong. It's just rage bait for rage bait. His reaction to when Strickland got his decision over Chimaev was hilarious. Huge Strickland hater. I know. Hey, any MMA Joey hate here is welcomed, appreciated, even encouraged. Encouraged. I don't like to say hate. Hate's a strong word, but for MMA Joey, I let it slide. Used to be a fan, but he started being a pick me. Oh, mean to you, so I stopped watching him. Did you say something that was logical? Because that may have thrown him off if you said something logical. I think he'd be a good. Like I know early days, he was like a normal dude, and then I think he saw how much views and stuff he could get by being a contrarian, by being a huge Dagestani fan, and you know what I'm saying, just saying what a lot of people don't say. So he just says that, and he makes a lot of money off of it. Good for him. If I could say stuff that Joey said and then get a whole bunch of views, dude. I mean, you see me, I got 36 subscribers, dude. I don't care, dude. No, I do. I have honor. We have honor around here. The Jackson podcast is atrocious. It used to be good early, but ever since Rampage left it, where it's kind of like lost its charm and it's being reigned by Bear now. What are you just asking, firm payload? Maybe I didn't see it. Oh, I gotta go to live chat. Did you say something? You didn't say anything else, firm payload. I already gave you tips and tricks on how to help with that injury you have. Joe was jumping for joy at Connor's injury last night. Of course, of course. It's like again, I don't know. How do you enjoy that? That was nothing. How do you enjoy McGregor going out like that? I'm a Holloway fan. I wanted Holloway to beat him up. I did not enjoy that. I'm not the biggest McGregor fan. I think he's good for the sport. It'd be better for him to win. I still would have loved Holloway to beat him up, and now we just got nothing. Bear, throw up emoji. Yeah, Bear's awful. His voice is awful too. Ugh, Bear's voice. My goodness. Joey hates on Strickland and Colby because they talk crap, but Joey talks crap about so many fighters that make it make sense. Well, he's not a fighter, so he doesn't need to have honor. Of course. Of course. He doesn't need to have honor. He doesn't need to. Yeah, it's weird. Like, the double standards is crazy. How he made fun, like, when Chimaev obviously missed weight. I don't know if y'all saw my video of over Chimaev missing weight, but Joey keeps on making fun of people, saying, like, because they've recently had people getting off the scales very, very quick. But Chimaev was like the first fighter where they got him off the scale super quick recently. So I made a video saying that he missed weight, which, by the way, he definitely missed weight. If they're saying that he had the worst weight cut ever, he had the worst weight cut ever, but he also did not miss weight. Is what Chimaev Copers are trying to tell you. He had the worst weight cut ever. He almost died doing that weight cut, but he did not miss weight, dude. Okay, okay, yeah, it's awful. I think liberals are trying to infiltrate media space, and Joey is part of that. Jackson Paul got chewed out, dude. I've definitely seen a rise of a certain ideology on a certain side rising up in MMA Twitter, dude. Like MMA Twitter, I feel like is mainly that side. Mainly that side. On YouTube, of course, do you know which side Guru is? I think you know what side Lucas Tracy is. And even Bedtime, he's a little based, dude. Bedtime's got it in him. I know Bedtime's like he's trying to do this friendly route, but he's got a little bit in him. He's got a little bit in him. You can tell. Once the Fertitas sold and went left hard on the media and admin side, reporters are soft and cringe. They def closeted rainbow, which by the way is not good or bad, whatever that means. I'm trying not to get fired, so just in case we are gonna play it a little safe, because apparently I may get I can't say some stuff. That's what I've been advised in order for me not get fired at my job. But freedom of speech for thee, but not for me. But yeah, I think you can definitely tell there's been like a shift in media for a certain side in the MMA space, which is very sad. They must have gotten, no offense, Blue Jay MMA. If you're, or is it Blue Jay MMA? I know it's Blue Jay something. If Blue Jay's still here, no offense, pal. But yeah, it's Blue Jay M 237. No offense, Blue Jay, but they've been getting more Canadian reporters on the payroll, if you know what I'm saying. More Canadian reporters. Bedtime is low-key based. He just doesn't want to get political. That's what I've been thinking, dude. Like, Bedtime has it in him. He wants to say stuff, but I think he knows if I start saying this, the YouTube's gonna stop associating. Like, he's like if Guru went down like a lighter path. He's like if Guru didn't go full dark side. You know, so well, someone say light side. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying. Like he's like if Guru didn't say what was on his mind all the time. Is basically. Which I'm not saying. I mean, I think Guru does overdo it a little bit, but it's also part of why so many people watching him is because he just says what he thinks. That's the best thing. Ronin. What does Ronin mean, Michael Blasco? Ronin. Could you mean Robin? Could you mean Ronin from Guardians of the Galaxy 1? Great movie. Could you mean, I don't know. But yeah, I think there's certainly a way to get political on here. I think gotta be a little bit like Bedtime. I like how he does it because he's kind of sneaky with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like I think the people that know what Bedtime thinks. I think he knows. He's a YouTube channel. Sorry. Oh, okay. I know. I've been told I need to change my YouTube name because it's not searchable. But I don't think even if I had a different name, it'd be too searchable because of how many little subscribers I have. So we may be sticking with By the Numbers. But if y'all would prefer a different name, I'm not too attached to anything. I think By the Numbers is just fun to say. It's a cool idea. Crud. The guy who plays the finals? Talking about that guy, Michael Blasco? My message doesn't appear? Yeah, I'm in live chat, Mr. Firm Payload. I'm not seeing it. Might be too crass. You might be a little too crass, which is unacceptable. Might just be too crass. Yeah, I'm not seeing your message, Mr. Firm Payload. So if you can name it, if you can word it in a different way, if you name it, word it in a different way, that could work. I think, yeah, Guru does too hard sometimes. We need to keep his emotions in check, and he has personal issues. I know, dude. Dude, we're not going to see Guru for like a month now. I just added MMA into your name. By the Numbers does sound like a betting channel, though. I just like, I don't know if I want to add MMA because I may do other videos on like football, even like basketball news. I don't know. I mainly watch MMA and football, but if I start watching basketball, like I like the openness that it gives me. But I don't. If I need to add MMA, I will. Ronin MMA. Oh, I see. Oh, it's the Ronin MMA. There we go. I think I've searched him up before. Yes. Okay. 28K? Okay. See, I like his thumbnails. I need to start getting better thumbnails. I think that's what I really need. Post more and get better thumbnails is the plan. But yeah, I like the fact that I can do anything with By the Numbers. It's very broad. If I wanted to do gaming, even I know the fabled Guru gaming live streams don't happen, but I wouldn't be too upset to do gaming or something like that where it can transcend into that. But again, I wouldn't hate MMA. Like I think I could do like banjo MMA. That'd be funny. Cause who's got a banjo? Who in the MMA space has a banjo, dude? Nobody. Now, can I play this? You tell me. You tell me. No, I can't. That's the answer. I can't really. I try to learn it very hard. I'm trying to learn it slowly again. I think I tried to learn it too much, too quick. But yeah, I think I could add MMA. I wouldn't be upset. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough thing to do because if I do change the name, then I have to change the Twitter. I don't know if you can change Twitter names. I don't know if you can change the handle of Twitter, but I could definitely. Then I'd have to make a different little profile thing. Which, by the way, I made my profile thing in Google Draw. How good would that be? Gaming could be fun. Do you follow NASCAR or anything like that? I don't, but I've had friends that love NASCAR. Like I said, I being by the numbers just is so versatile because I'm not limited to MMA. Even though I do love MMA, it's not like I'm gonna stop doing it. But it would if it would help my channel grow in the first place, and maybe I just do a second channel where I then do everything I want. Maybe that would have to be the thing where I focus on this and build it up with MMA, and then I make another channel where that one can be anything. That may have to be what I have to do. If Dana named you president, what would you do of the UFC? If Dana named me president, what would I do? I think I would try and sign all these good fighters. I would try and sign Ngannou, even though he's awful to work with. I think you need Ngannou in the UFC. I'd sign him Makayev, even though Makayev's being very annoying. I think I'd sign him to the UFC. I'd sign all these fighters like Dakota Dakota Dacheva in the PFL. I'd try and get her to come over, give her a big super fight with money. Who's also I would sign. I guess I would maybe sign Usman. Maybe Usman Nurmagomedov. Maybe Paul Hughes. It's like some of these. Like I'd try and make MMA super big by signing all these outside names. Uh, that'd be like for signing. Then maybe if you want to say like rules, I would just allow knees to the grounded opponent. If you look back at it, dude, what fight was I like? If you could knee a grounded opponent, like last night, there was a fight where if you could knee a grounded opponent, that'd be a nasty finish. I don't know if I'd add soccer kicks and stomps, but I would at least add. Maybe I would add soccer kicks, dude. Soccer kicks are good, dude. I'm being Tracy Cortez. I'm beating Tracy Cortez so bad, gang. Not gonna lie. So, do you mean beating? I'm guessing you mean beat like two, or are you pulling a John Jones on Tracy Cortez? You could just be pulling. This is very open statement. You could be. You could mean that you're doing a John Jones on Tracy Cortez, or possibly you're doing a who did Tracy Cortez beat? Alex Pereira. You're doing a T City to Tracy Cortez. Okay, monopolize it. Yeah, monopolize the UFC. That's what I mean. You got to do that. Like it, the NFL does it. NBA does it. You got to just start just stealing stars. That's the whole point. Allow fighters to use knives. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wallpaper settings. Maybe not that, dude. I think certain fighters would really love that. Certain fighters would love that. You know what I mean? I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure. So you're doing. So you mean the T City route, not the John Jones route? What next? What is next? Is it Islam? You think Hawkett's back soon? Oh, you mean what like card is next? So this weekend is Dricus Plessis Usman. If you mean in terms of pay per view or numbered events, it is Usman Gary with the co-main of Mackenzie Dern. Would you rather smell her fingers or her fat butt? Cortez? If I'm being honest, dude, if I'm being honest from Payload, Cortez is not that good looking. I don't know. I don't know. Who would y'all think is the most attractive UFC fighter? I think Veronica Hardy's a good looking MMA fighter. From outside of the UFC, Dakota Dacheva is actually a very pretty looking woman. To be honest, I think Cortez is just. I don't know what about her. Maybe it's just that she's crazy. The Alliance. That's what you know. The Alliance would love to use knives, Mr. Wallpaper Settings. The Alliance would love to use knives. And then probably British fighters as well. They would have like a bit of a coincide thing. You are right, the actual champ woman. It's who? But yeah, Michael Blasco. The next numbered event is Islam Gary, which I mean it's you just can't pick Gary. You can't pick Ian Gary. Just watching back, he just doesn't have that much. Macy Barber, she is very good looking. No, maybe I don't know. Macy Barber's weird. Some days Macy Barber looks good. Some days she does. Like Alexa Grasso is cute. I'm not gonna call Joe Pfeiffer cute like Guru. I'm not gonna call him Cutie Pie Pfeiffer. Cutie Pfeiffer. Tracy's okay looking, probably at 7, but she has sexual energy to her. Okay. She's crazy though. Crazy is the thing, which maybe that does raise it. I don't. I don't know if she's a baddie. Macy Barber, Aylin Cortez. Who is that? Veronica Hardy and Pollyanna Viana. See, I'm on the Veronica Hardy train. I get you wallpaper settings. I think Veronica Hardy is very, very pretty looking. Let's see. You said Aylin Cortez? Aylin. I'd have to go to athletes. Barber's Chopped. Hello, bro. WJ. Where are you from? Patty versus Ilya face off at press conference will be timeless, dude. Patty Ilya face off will be crazy because Ilya's down on his level now. You know, he's not this champion untouchable guy. Where am I from? Clan Red Demon. Hello, where are you from, bro? I'm from Arkansas. I hope maybe that'll chill your roll, okay? Barber's a little chopped wallpaper settings. Casey O'Neill's decent. I gotta see. Who did this guy say? Aylin Cortez. Aylin Cortez? I don't see that. Are you sure Aylin Cortez is something with firm payload? Oh, you mean Aylin Perez is what you must have meant. Aylin Perez, McGregor is washed. He is. He is washed. Very much so washed. But yeah, Michael Blasco. I think the Pimlet Ilya face off and the press conference is going to be very interesting. Because what is Ilya going to say? All of Ilya's trash talk was about how good he was. All of his trash talk, all of Ilya's like aura and trash talk and his whole thing was that he is the best fighter ever. And now we can't really say that anymore. So it's going to be weird. I think Patty definitely will have the upper hand in that. Patty already makes Ilya mad. And you saw what Ilya does when he gets mad. When Ilya gets mad, he fights like an idiot. So I think that's a very winnable fight for Pimlet. He means Aylin Perez. I understand that now. He said Aylin Cortez. Like, I think you mean Aylin Perez. Aylin Perez does not have a good face, though. Aylin Perez is nothing, if I'm being honest. The Pollyanna Viana, Veronica Hardy, I think Wallpaper Settings is probably knows the most ball. Casey O'Neill, I think her forehead's a little too big. Too much of a fishbowl forehead, if I'm being honest. But yes, Mr. Clan Red Demon McGregor is a wash. Unfortunately, McGregor is a wash, which is unfortunate. But I mean, what do we expect? What did you expect? It was just a kind of a sad reality. It's like figuring out that Santa wasn't real. Seeing McGregor come back like that, it's like, oh, I believe in Santa. I believe in Santa. Oh, he snapped his he tore his meniscus. Oh, on the first kick he threw, and he's being an idiot and throwing a jumping switch kick into a head kick off that same leg. That's all messed up. Okay. Alexa Grasso cute. I said that. I mean, ball wallpaper settings, dude. When Patty tells him Whitney Houston, it'll start the brawl. You think? I think Whitney Houston will probably get like a water bottle thrown. Maybe Ilya standing up too. The thing is, it's not a main event, unfortunately, unless it's like a fight night main event. But Armin or Ilya Patty is a very good co-main event. Very good co-main event. So do we put that on like a Volkanovski? No, because Ilya won't be back in time. Maybe you put it on the Tom Aspinall Cyril Gahn card. Wait a minute. You put Paddy Pimblett and Ilya Taporia on the Tom Aspinall Cyril Gahn card? Is that something or what? You know what I'm saying? Maybe. That may be something. Maybe I'm crazy though. I could just be crazy. I think there's something to that where they are very, very good co-main event, because you can't that can't be a fight night main event. It could, but it's probably a paper or a numbered event kind of thing. It's got to be. But yes, McGregor's washed. Thank you, Clan Red Demon. It hurts. It hurts. There could very well be a brawl though. To be fair though, I didn't say this, but for every single press conference, there should be a mandatory Josh Hockett. Josh Hockett should be mandatory at every single UFC press conference. That's just a personal thing. I think Josh Hockett needs to be at every single press conference. Who is the tightest woman fighter? I think Jandiroba, because she's chopped. Okay. Hopefully they book Tom Gahn ASAP. Tom said in his recent video, he's told the UFC he's ready to go. He's told the UFC he's ready, just waiting on them. So it is really just a UFC. It could be a contract dispute thing, but no, Tom's contract's already done, so maybe it's them trying to re-sign him. Because the thing about Tom becoming a free agent, you don't want your heavyweight champion to become a free agent. You think Gable Steveson? He's the only guy I think would run over Hockey. You think Gable Steveson? Gone. Okay. I was going to say Gable Steveson? Dude. I'm sorry, Mr. Michael Blasco. I was about to have to disagree with you, but Gone is very much so. I think these massive heavyweights are going to give Gone, Hockett. Volkov's weird because he's so big. By the way, firm payload. I mean, I don't know. It may be Werner Jandiroba. I think it may be, I don't know. That may be something that you research on and you write like an MLA paper on, and we get back to it. I just need some heavy research. I would like you to cite your sources too when you give me that paper back, Mr. Firm Payload. Hockett's the greatest fighter in UFC history now. That may be a little too far. But I don't hate it, dude. I don't hate that statement. He's at least the most entertaining on and off. Like, McGregor, you could say he was entertaining, and maybe off because of his personality, but in recent years, Hockett's the most entertaining on and off, or in and out of the cage. That's the way to say it. Hello, Mr. Matteo Lugones. Not sure Jandiroba has a badge, TBH. Okay. She may just be a cyborg because you can't be human and that ugly, so she may just be an alien. But yeah, I think, like I was saying, Michael Blasco, all these like massive heavyweights, they're just huge. It's going to be very difficult for Hockett because he's so small and he has no power. If Hockett had power, there'd be an argument, but he just has no power, which is unfortunate. Hello, Mr. Matto Lagoons. But I don't know. Hockett's in a tough spot because the whole point of Hockett is that he goes, I don't cut weight. Why? Because I'm the baddest man on the planet and I fight at my natural weight class. I don't do this weight cutting stuff, which is sick. It's very, very sick. So hopefully Hockett makes it far. the only top person I think he could beat is Volkov, just because Volkov is so long and lanky, and he likes to kick a lot, which gives Hockett a leg to topple him over. But even then, that is tough because Volkov's grappling is very good. It'd have to be a Josh Hockett pressure wrestling match where it'd have to be 15 minutes. Because I'm not sure about Hockett's gas tank. I mean, he went 3 hard rounds with blades, but I'm not sure. A wrestling gas tank in a pure striking gas tank is very, very different. I think we all know that by now. Wrestling for 3 rounds straight is a lot more impressive than striking that heavily for 3 rounds straight. They're both impressive, but it's different gas tanks. So we'll have to find out. But I hope he makes it far, dude. Hockett's, I mean, probably one of my favorite fighters, if I'm being honest. It's probably Josh Hockett. It'd have to be. Think Hockett can get by without KO power because his speed and output? That's the thing. Like, he has very good combinations. He has very good combinations, and they're so quick, and they can surprise people. That's the thing about his thing. He doesn't have power because of how quick he is, he surprises people, which is almost as good as KO power. Because if you get surprised and you don't see a punch coming, it's a lot better than, oh, I see this punch coming, but it's just so powerful. Or not a lot better, but it's in the same area. So I see what you're saying, but like against Tom Aspinall, who's just so big and so powerful, and he gets jabbed up. He gets jabbed up a lot. I think Gone, even though I do agree with what you said, Michael Blasco, where Gone can run through him. I think Gone's actually a pretty good. Stylistically, he's decent. He's a decent matchup for Hockett in terms of getting like the highest person he could fight. It probably would be Gone in terms of having a chance to win because he can't take Aspinall down. Aspinall has crazy power. Gone at least doesn't have too much power. I think Pereira was just a little. Pereira's always been a little chinny, if we're being honest. Ankalaev rocked him. He got knocked out by, but he took some decent shots from Yuri. It's weird. Pereira's chin is weird, but I think Hockey just run into him and knock over Gone, and it'd be close. I think. Like, of course, Gone could just style on Hockey, but still. Unpopular opinion, Shy Josh. Dude, Shy Josh is amazing. His press conference at the White House where he's Shy Josh and he's just saying, and I'm so sorry, Gilly. I just love you. So you're my favorite fighter, and I'm sorry. And he's going, shut up, thank you, but shut up. I was cracking up laughing. I would do a live press conference reaction, but I work on Thursdays, unfortunately. I work on Thursdays right when the press conference starts. I get rizzed up Nina with the most out of everyone. That's true too, dude. He's just got natural charisma. Is the thing. He's got natural charisma, and people call it cringe. I would much rather watch Josh Hockett interview than any other fighter besides maybe Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell's also got some charisma on him, dude. Bryce Mitchell's got some charisma. But like some of these top fighters right now, like Joshua Van is like so boring to watch. He's like the coolest fighter ever. But Joshua Van does suck to like listen to on the interviews, just because he's so young. It's always a you know what I mean, and yeah, man, and it's just I don't think he beats Gone or Tom. I don't think either, but I'm saying it like who would you like? He's the best. Gone is the best. Like if you gave him a percentage wise, I think Gone is the highest percentage chance he has to win. I'd say it's not like a crazy percentage, but if you're talking like maybe Volkov would be higher. Again, Volkov's weird. So maybe you'd say Volkov over Gone. But if I had to choose like a top heavyweight that Josh Hockett had to fight, I would maybe give him Gone or Volkov. Just because those are the guys I think he would have the best chance. Because Pavlovich, dude, is scary. Pavlovich is scary. Aspinall's scary. And those are really the only top 4 heavyweights, huh? Not a lot of top heavyweights. Ilya such. Someone shut this guy up while looking around, dude. It was so great. It was just it was something to talk about. Dude, I love Josh Hockett. And did you see his tweets? Some of his tweets recently have been so hilarious. He like when Adesanya announced that he was leaving CKB, and Hockett sends like a fake image of him and Adesanya talking on Twitter. Let me see if I can bring it up. Actually, probably be better. Love Bryce, dude. Bryce is amazing. Same card, Ilya versus Patty and Shama versus Hockett. I would love Pereira. I think Hockett beats Pereira pretty easily too. Maybe I'm high on Hockett and low on Pereira right now. But I was saying before the White House card, I think Hockett beats Pereira, and I think he does. Josh Hockett. So he posts this. Let me find it, dude. Where is it? He posts this. I will help Stylebender get his belt back. Israel, come join the dark side. He may already be with a first name like that. I think maybe he beats Pavlovich. I don't know, dude. Pavlovich is scary. If like Blades is landing on you that much, I know he dodged out of all of Derek Lewis's punches, but Derek Lewis is so slow. It's like Pavlovich is a different beast. He is, especially now that he's coming off a KO win. I think maybe if he got the Pavlovich, now he's coming off of the Tom Aspinall or the Volkov loss and the Aspinall loss, who's like at the lowest of his lows, maybe, but he's on like a 2 or 3 fight win streak. He has a KO. He just got a KO. He's back into it. That's why I'm scared for Pavlovich. But he posts this. Josh Hockett posts this. It's a message with Adesanya, and he goes, "Hey, I heard you're leaving CKB?" Question mark. And Adesanya goes, "Yes, I am. I'm also a huge fan of you and your stuff. You fight at heavyweight, which is heavier than my weight classes. You are really strong, I bet." And he responds, "Haha, yes, Adesanya, I am really strong. Would you like to do your next training camp with me?" "Yes, but I'm not sure if I can handle it or if I even deserve it. I will help you get your belt back." Okay, and I thought it was so cool how you stood up to Pereira. He is scary. That is the funniest thing. That is the funniest thing ever, dude. That is so funny. I sort of agree. I think Pereira's mass is best. He's 38. Yeah, I think he's just so slow to it. Heavyweight, he's so slow. Like you saw the speed difference. Hockett is so quick. Pereira is so slow. I think he can set up a combination. Now, how much he wants to stand with Alex Pereira, that's a different thing. But I think if he sets up his takedowns pretty well too. Like you saw that Derek Lewis takedown, it was a beautiful takedown attempt on Derek Lewis, incredible. So I think Josh Hockett could easily take him down, and I know Pereira stuffed all of Ankalaev's takedowns, but Ankalaev's not a Josh Hockett. Josh Hockett, who uses momentum, traps the legs very well, trips you over very well. You could probably take Pereira down. And what does Pereira look like when he's on the ground? When it's not Israel Adesanya on top of him, you know what I'm saying? Very different fight. Very different fight than he's used to. Of course, maybe Pereira just chins him out cold. Could be. But I think at heavyweight, Pereira's just so telegraphed too. Just so telegraphed. He's old. He's slow. It's like not a good combination. Which is unfortunate because heavyweight is the only division I think he can. Like maybe he could go back down to light heavyweight and still be good. But I think once he made that jump to heavyweight, he's kind of locked up there. I think he's too old to go to try and make that weight cut again. His body's getting adjusted to heavyweight. And maybe he will speed up for the next fight. Maybe he'll be a little bit leaner. Won't be trying to come in as heavy and as bulky. I think he came in a little bit too overweight for the Gaunt fight because he wanted to have some muscle to be able to stuff Gaunt takedowns, but he didn't expect for Gaunt to be that fast. Might be the thing. But it's tough. But yeah, Bryce is a major Mr. Michael Blasco. Bryce is amazing, dude. Hockett trolled Ilya's head into oblivion. Ilya got so mad at the small stuff, dude. It's because Ilya is that kind of guy. He just is. Like, he's a bit of a drama queen. You could look past it when he was the champ, when he was doing all this, but he is. Ilya's a drama queen. Ank is low-key crap, had a close decision with Rakic, and Krylov. I know it was early days Krylov, but that's still a very close decision with Rakic and Krylov. Like, I'm not sure. Ankalaev just doesn't do anything crazy good. I think it's just he's so well-rounded that he makes stuff close. If you're like, no matter what level you are, he's going to make it close just because of how well-rounded he is. But it's never going to be, oh, he blew this guy out of the water. Now, like maybe early he could, but now he's not going to really blow through people like that. But yeah, Ilya was a drama queen, dude. We overlooked it because of how cool he was, but Ilya is a drama queen. Agree he should have just stayed the same shape as light heavyweight, not cut any weight. I mean, I think that would have been the best decision for him. If he kept that same speed, but then how much do you blame on age and how much do you blame on gaining weight? Is it like is that an even 50-50 blame that you put on it, or is one more than the other? Before his cut to 205, he's probably about 225, so he should have just stayed that size. That would have been perfect. Honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if he just stayed at or yeah, like 225. What's like the minimum he can be at heavyweight? Is it 225? UFC heavyweight lower weight limit. Brock Lesnar versus Hockett. And UFC heavyweight fighters must weigh at least 205 pounds, which is the minimum in the division, and cannot exceed 250, 265. There's no way that's true. Is that true? Lesnar versus Hockett would be sick. I never watched Lesnar, so I don't know how good he is, but I think Hockett would get him gone, dude. UFC heavyweight lower limit. 205. So he can be 205 and fight at heavyweight. I honestly would not be upset if he just did his normal cut. Maybe not as strict, but he just did whatever he did to make light heavyweight and just fought at heavyweight. I think that probably would have been better for him than trying to do this bulk up, and he bulked up so quick, I feel like, too. Like, he did not bulk up properly. John Jones, even though he is a scum of the earth, he at least bulked up to heavyweight the right way. Because he took 20 years, but he still bulked up there. 50-50, but hard to tell on the age or weight limit. You know. Yeah. I'm looking at some of Ronan's stuff, by the way, Michael Blasco, and he has some good stuff. Gable the Loophole Steveson is a media trained robot with no personality and is an absolute weirdo. I like that, dude. That's sick. I'm gonna watch some of this stuff. I'll look at that. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny, dude. 225 on Google. It says the lower limit of heavyweight's 205, but maybe I'm just dumb and I can't read. Huh? I don't know. That's strange. It's 225. Huh? Google says 205, but that's the AI overview, so it's dumb. Ronan is so funny. I listen to his vids during work. Okay. I start listening, dude. It looks cool. I normally only watch like Guru and Bedtime. Lucas Tracy's fun to listen to. If I could become any YouTube, like if I could have the same career path as any MMA YouTuber, Guru would probably be the best money wise. But dude, being a Lucas Tracy would be so fun, dude. Imagine being able to have be like Lucas Tracy. Dude's the funniest guy ever. I'd probably do a little bit more than him, but still, dude, he's so funny. I love Lucas Tracy. Dude, he just some of the things he says, dude. I don't know how he comes up with it, but he does. He just does. I don't know. Oh, his wallpaper. It's saying 205 on Google wallpaper settings, but it may just be because Google is wrong. Yeah, it's got to be two. It's Google is wrong. Hmm. Yeah, 225 makes sense. I think that would have been a perfect weight. What did he weigh in at 241? Because I want to say what Pereira weighed in as for weighed in at for the Gone fight. 241, and Gone weighed lighter than him. It's like, what are we doing? I think his camp just told him wrong. And again, it may have just been age, and even if he did weigh at 225, he'd still be slow. He still would have been slow, but I think he would have looked a lot better. Would have looked a lot better. But you know. That's just how it is, you know. That was heartbreaking. Two heartbreaking, two heartbreaking results back to back, dude. These last two pay-per-views have been the most heartbreaking thing ever. Conor McGregor gets injured, we don't get a real fight, and then Topuria. It was heartbreaking in terms of like Topuria's greatness is over. His greatness is over. Topuria's argument at fighting Islam's over, and then Pereira's greatness is down the drain as well. It's gonna be hard for him because people were talking about him being the GOAT, and now it's all done. Because the triple champ was really what was saving Pereira, if you think about it, because he doesn't have the strongest record. Like it's like Yuri twice, like Roundtree, Jamal Hill. The Strickland fight was a good one, and like the Adesanya win was good at the time, but it's not being what it should be. You know, what's the most devastating submission move in MMA? Like to get put on, like devastating in terms of its consequences. I'd say it'd have to be like an armbar, or it'd have to be a heel hook, something where you're tearing like the ACL ligaments in your leg. That's what I would guess, like a heel hook or a toe hold or something like that, where you're just ripping out the leg and the knee. That I would think that'd be the most like devastating submission. And now, if you're talking like embarrassing, it'd have to be like the Suliev stretch. Dude, that'd be embarrassing. Getting hit with the Suliev stretch, and you're like facing up towards the camera, like Charles Johnson against Aso Amabayev, dude. Oh, that'd be embarrassing. So those are two answers. The most devastating in terms of consequences and getting hurt have to be like a heel hook, knee bar. In terms of embarrassment, it'd be like a Suliev stretch, or I feel like getting caught like in that guillotine and panic tapping. If you panic tap, that's no matter what submission it is. If you panic tap, that's the most embarrassing submission. Just panic tapping. Tap, 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 tap. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. So it'd probably be like heel hook, then knee bar, then like an arm bar. Like getting your arm broken probably sucks. Patty Pimlet's armbar triangle choke against Bobby Green was nasty. That's one of those. Triangle choke is also embarrassing, dude, because your head's in their crotch. What's more embarrassing than that? Nothing. Nothing, I don't think. I don't know. Those are like two. Those are like two open-ended answers. So take whatever one you prefer, Mr. Blasco. Take whichever one you prefer. Crud, dude. Crud, dude. How do we like banana split, dude? That's embarrassing because just the position a banana split puts you in, and then you have to look at your crowd, and then you got to watch yourself get banana splitted. That's probably the most embarrassing submission to get hit with. It's gotta be. It's either a banana split or panic tapping. Oh, do we like this? Do we like this position of the camera better, or the one, or the earlier stream ones? Panic tapping to a face crank. That's also very bad. That's awful. That may actually take the cake. To a face crank. It's not even an in submission. That may be something. Are there any well known fights where someone panic tapped or has a reputation of doing it? Panic tapping? Who's panic tapped? I know Roofy tapping against the face crank that Ben Washington had was pretty embarrassing. I know what is like a recent fight where it's like, oh, he tapped to that. Dude, Umar Sai versus Ion Kutalaba. It was a pretty locked in. It was like a very nice locked in top mount guillotine, but I think there was like only a couple seconds left and he tapped. Or like Muin Gaffarov versus Jacob Wuklash. It wasn't a. These aren't panic taps, but it's taps where it's like there's 1 second left. There's 1 second left, and they don't tap, and or they do tap at like 1 second left or whatever. That's pretty embarrassing. Because they were like winning too. Not Umar Sy against Kutalaba. That was a fight that it looked like Umar Sy was gonna lose, but still, like Moon Gafarov against Jacob Whitlash, I was like he was probably gonna win that fight by decision if he didn't tap. But I can't think of a panic tap recently. It's definitely died out. Panic tapping's definitely died out. Just because the UFC is so young, MMA in general is so young that people are evolving every day. So you don't really see panic taps anymore. A lot more gyms are making sure you know what to do before you get out into the scene and stuff, and you know it just kind of gets nipped at the bud earlier now. Nipped in the bud earlier. Can you think of any panic tap submissions that are recent wallpaper settings? I can't think of any. Like I said, my first real UFC card was 322, so I can't think that far back. But still, panic tap, but his teeth were caved in. Yeah, that wasn't really panic tap because his jaw was like smashed, but it was that like if you don't have any information, that was a bad tap because of how quick it was. But I'm sure, dude, if I was getting choked, if I was getting face cranked and I feel my teeth cave in, dude, I'm tapping with both hands, dude. I'm tapping with both hands and I'm running out the octagon, getting my teeth fixed as fast as possible, as fast as possible. Like you feel your teeth, oh, dude. And I saw the photos, that's awful. That's actually awful. That might be the most devastating. I know it doesn't happen a lot, Michael Blasco, but a face crank that breaks your jaw would be the most devastating. Awful. Awful, awful, awful. I'm gonna have a nightmare of getting choked down and having my jaw cave in. Ugh. 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 I also get very scared when like Pimlet submission over BSD was scary, dude, because if Pimlet didn't say he's out, dude, and like they're in that like face down where you can't see their face and it's a weird angle, that's scary to me too. Very, very scary. Like, luckily, I'm sure it's easy to tell when someone goes out when you're submitting them. Like, if you're a real jujitsu expert, you probably can tell, oh, this guy's out. So I'm sure Pim also lit off the squeeze when he was done, like when he felt BSD go out. But still, that's so scary. Just someone getting hold for a choke too long, and they're just brain damage right there. That's scary. That is a scary, scary thought. Just can't stop imagining. Just can't stop. But what we're talking about Whittaker, good win for him. Good win. Who did I say I'd give Whittaker? I don't think I even really went over it. Who I would give Whittaker for his next fight at light heavyweight. Let's see. I think I said Dustin Jacoby would be a fun fight for Whittaker. Maybe Bogdan Guskov, but I think they rescheduled Bogdan Guskov and Blachowicz too, because that's the rematch we needed to see. Watching that patty choke last night hit the primal part of the brain for sure, dude. It was a nasty choke too, because dude, the way BSD woke up too, where he's like laying down, he goes, "Huh." Dude, that's how I look like every time I wake up. So you know what? We may have something in common, me and BSD. We may have something in common. But him waking up from that choke was kind of funny. It was sad though, dude. It was so sad because he's leaving. Did you see the video of BSD leaving the octagon and he's looking up at the camera, watching him get submitted by Patty? He's just doing his gloves, messing with his gloves, and he's just looking at it. And he's like thinking, you can tell he's thinking to himself, "I messed that up. I really messed that up." I think Whittaker. See, I think Whittaker versus Dominic Reyes. is that just me or does Dominic Reyes KO Whittaker? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe Whittaker blitzes in too well and he doesn't leave. But I don't know. Reyes is dangerous on the back foot. Now Roundtree, I think Whittaker could probably beat Khalil Roundtree Jr. So if you really want to jump up Whittaker, I don't know what they're going to put him ranked as. I know Krylov was unranked, but Whittaker was at least somewhat ranked at middleweight. But I think Whittaker could probably beat Roundtree, could probably beat Jamal Hill. Paulo Costa, maybe he beats him in a rematch. Maybe Paulo Costa has the power to do some damage at light heavyweight. Guskov, I thought didn't they rebook the rematch with Jan Blachowicz with Guskov? Pretty sure they did. Let's see. I think I can just click his name. Yeah, he has a. Oh no, maybe he doesn't. Let's see. Let me go to Tapology then. Tapology will have if he's booked up or not. Yeah, he has a fight on the Medic Rodriguez card. So in 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, Whittaker Yuri. Does Whittaker deserve Yuri? Is what you have to think. Does Whittaker deserve number 3 Yuri Prohaska? I don't know. If he does, maybe. But Paulo Costa beat Asmat Murzakanov, who was like ranked number 8 or 7 at the time, and they put him at number 4. I feel like you gotta give him like a Paulo or Jamal Hill or Khalil, but Jamal Hill's going to heavyweight. A lot of light heavyweights are. I don't know if y'all have seen, but like Johnny Walker announced he's going to heavyweight. Rakic is going to heavyweight. Jamal Hill's going to heavyweight. That's 3 ranked fighters. Is Rakic ranked? Maybe Rakic is unranked. Rakic is unranked, so never mind. That's 2 ranked fighters though that are leaving light heavyweight for heavyweight. But I think realistically, like if the highest you could probably give him would be, I would think Jamal Hill or Roundtree, in my opinion. Maybe you do give him Yuri. I just don't know. I would think that Yuri beats Whittaker, but maybe not. He is chinny. But I don't. I think him blitzing in and Yuri has decent head movement, and those teeps to the body from Yuri are really going to work well on Whittaker, who has a bit of a more flabbier belly now that he's at light heavyweight. I'd probably go with Yuri. I probably would go with Yuri. They still have Alex Pereira ranked at number 1 for light heavyweight too. I don't know why. He ranked the number 1 contender at light heavyweight and the number 4 contender at heavyweight. So I hate how they always take so long to take somebody out of this weight class. Because Paulo Costa's ranked at number 14 for middleweight, but he's also ranked number 4 at light heavyweight. So annoying. Is MVP also ranked across too? No, MVP's only ranked at welterweight right now. I mean, I do hate when people go back and forth between weight classes. Stick to a weight class, pal. Stick to a weight class. Whittaker versus Azamat? That could happen. Whittaker should destroy Azamat, though, unless he just gets caught. But he was barely getting, I don't think Krylov landed a single shot against Whittaker. Now, it could just be Krylov's bad, which, by the way, who would ever pick Krylov to beat Whittaker? But it could just be Krylov's bad. I thought he was the same level of goofy as RDR, and he just kind of do what RDR did, where he just bothers him up in the clinch and makes him work, but he didn't. He didn't. He was just kind of stuck doing the same thing over and over again. But we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that. But yeah, I think Whittaker can definitely have a bit of a run here. I think he beats Azamat. I think Roundtree beats. I think Hill he beats. He could maybe beat Oostmir, but Oostmir is a bit of a warrior. But Oostmir lost to Krylov. That's the thing. I think I for some reason I feel like Dominic Reyes sleeps out Whittaker though. Him doing his 1-2 blitz. I could see Reyes just sleeping Whittaker out cold. Jacoby. Dustin Jacoby would probably be a fun fight for Whittaker. Sterling They definitely won't have him fight Sterling. Sterling's adjacent to being a friend of Whittaker. Minifield, Whittaker probably beats Walker. Whittaker probably chins Walker. Jan Blachowicz, though, I know he's ranked number 15, but Jan Blachowicz probably gives Whittaker a run for his money. Maybe not, though. But the takedown. Whittaker did get taken down by Krylov and controlled decently easy. Not the easiest. He did get back up, but still got taken down. Maybe Blachowicz could hold him down a little bit better. I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably stream until, for me, 1 in the morning. So what is that? 20 minutes? Probably stream for 20 more minutes. Because I got some work to do now. I got some calls to make. Cause I got some school funds, some college payments I have to make. Unfortunately, which is not gonna be fun. Not gonna be fun. But you know. Commentary was awful during Whittaker fight, saying he was getting bullied and looked fat. He was getting pieced up, Krylov, and clearly winning. I don't know why they hate Whittaker so much. I don't know what he did. I wasn't listening to the commentary because I don't know if you were watching my fight during the Whittaker fight, but I was just having a blast because of crud. Because of how awful Krylov was when I picked him. Sometimes picking an awful fighter and having to root for them, even though they look awful, is so fun. Like, I was having a blast rooting for Krylov, even though Krylov looks so bad. So I wasn't even really listening to commentary. Reyes is chinny, though. He is, but he's chinny. Does Whittaker have the power? I know he took forever to knock out Krylov, but you've seen Reyes knocks out Krylov with one punch. Bogdan Guskov knocks out Krylov with one punch, right? Whittaker it takes a storm of three fights in a row, or 3 rounds in a row of him just beating up and demolishing Krylov. And even then he didn't KO Krylov, he just broke his jaw. Like he never knocked out Krylov. So I don't know if Whittaker has enough KO power to really sit down on a race, and also like I said, Race is dangerous on the back foot. If he makes Whittaker initiate first, I could see Reyes just sleeping him out cold. Yan is good, arguably beat Olberg. So did Ozdemir. Like a lot of people, I don't think Olberg's that good. Arguably lost to Blachowicz. Arguably lost to Ozdemir. Like you KO'd Yuri, who was having a bit of a tism attack. That's what it was. So I don't know. And I think when are they? So did they have the AI meta rankings for no reason? Because they're not using them. What was the point of the AI meta rankings? Because they're not using them at all. You know, like I thought they'd wait a little bit and then start using them. Maybe they'll start using them for the next couple fight announcements, and because they had to use the rankings for the media, they had to just keep the rankings. But now that they have the AI rankings, they'll start using them when they start announcing more fights. But I don't know. I feel like because if you look at it for light heavyweight, Jan Blachowicz is ranked number 4. So then you could do Jan Blachowicz versus Whittaker and it'd be decent. Paulo Costa and Azamat Murzakanov are tied at 7 for the AI rankings. Ozdemir's at 9, Guskov's at 10, Rice is 11, Krylov's at 12 for the AI rankings. Rakic is at 14, Minifield at 15, Yuri number 2, Pereira 3. AI rankings equals we stop giving a crap. That is true too. Mr. Moza, that is true. But some of the AI rankings were better. Some of the AI rankings are better. Some of them are worse, obviously. But like, why even make them if you're not going to use them? It's weird. It's like they just did it just to do it. Be like, dude, look, we have AI rankings now, so we're going to keep on using the media rankings where some of it's very Some media rankings don't make sense, but like what they have Israel Adesanya ranked at number 8 for the media rankings, where he's ranked number where's Adesanya? Adesanya's at 9. Really, he's at number 9 for the AI rankings. I feel like at this point you gotta have Adesanya like ranked number 10 or something. I don't know. You lose 3 times in a row, 2 by knockout. I feel like you gotta drop a lot more than just going down to number 8. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't know. I think they said meta rankings are being phased in not all at once. Okay. Like I said, some of the meta rankings are good, some are awful. So I hope they can tweak it and make it like split the middle. Because I think the meta rankings for light heavyweight are beautiful, perfect. You have Ankalaev at 1, Yuri at 2. Take Pereira out, don't have him at 3. MFers literally went, "You are a lifetime MMA fan, rank the current top 15 fighters in this weight class right now," and hit send on the ChatGPT chat box. Give me the top 15 fighters. Well, at least we know Dana's not controlling it, because John Jones would be ranked number 1 on these pound for pound lists still. So this AI is it's unbiased, dude. They say it's unbiased. I don't know if it'd be biased. I don't know if it's unbiased. I'm sure they would tell it. Maybe. But yeah, it's weird to use the AI, but because fighting is so much more than stats. I know I'm by the numbers, but fighting is really stat. Like some fights are close fights, some fights are robberies that have to be taken into account for rankings, and they don't for the media and the AI rankings. They don't take it into account, but they need to. We need to have the true AI. That may be my next video. The true rankings. I may just go through each weight class and give the right rankings. I don't know. He has 100% bias, can be doctored. Look at Grok. That is true. Because they're using Meta. So Facebook, they're cozied up with Facebook. That's why they show the threads during the fights, because they love Meta and Meta loves them. Because Zuckerberg's a big MMA fan. It's weird. It's definitely weird. I think like I said, fighting in MMA, just the UFC in general, is a lot more than just who won this fight, who lost this fight. Who won this fight, who lost this fight, that's all that matters. You can't really do that. Because if let's say the Peter Yan Aljo 1 fight, how's the AI gonna take that first Aljo fight? Look at the Conor McGregor Max Holloway fight. It says round 1 TKO. Does the AI know that Max Holloway? Because is the AI gonna think that Max Holloway TKO'd McGregor in the round 1, or does he think? Is he gonna know that he got injured? At least with human rankings, you have someone to blame or difference of opinion. You just have to with this bullcrap, you have to crap on the entire concept. Yeah, I think the AI rankings are just there needs to be a way to do it media rankings without having it be a popularity contest or whatever. Even though it's not really a popularity contest for the rankings, but there's definitely some weird rankings where you go, all right, okay. Oh, but they have Bryce Mitchell ranked at number 14 on bantamweight on the media rankings too, not just the AI. So I guess they changed some stuff around. Maybe not. I forgot. Like Bryce Mitchell wasn't ranked before the AI rankings came out, but now he's not ranked for the AI rankings either. I like how you can see me switching between the two. I wonder what I'm looking at. Oh wait, is the black one the media? Oh, it is. This is the meta I'm looking at. The white is the meta rankings. So the media is black. Oh, I see. I see. So you start with automatically the meta rankings. That's strange. They definitely could fix that. They definitely need to fix that too. Yeah, that's the thing about fighting is because, like you said, Mister, is it Moza Millsadat? I'm just gonna call you Moza, if that's fine. I'm gonna call you Moza. difference of opinion in MMA is so crazy because some fights are very opinion based. Like I thought Sandhagen clearly lost to Batista last night, but there's still like some people thought that Sandhagen won, and I don't fault them for it because it was a very close fight. Like close fights are hard to judge because they do sometimes have a bit of bias, a bit of opinion. Better way to do it, you can do community based rating, where members are left to vote on who's higher than who and what kind of performance someone had, like a 10-point performance in soccer. Like the media does the voting. Because community based, hardcore fans are always going to rank their fighter as favorite. That's the thing. It's hard to be unbiased because the UFC is such a personality driven sport where it's like the fighters are people. They're not teams. They're people. So it's hard to kind of separate the fighter from the person. Um, but yeah, I think you could definitely do that. I think there's definitely should be a way because sometimes I feel like finishes need to be involved. Like there's definitely a way to objectively score how a fighter did and how they've been doing recently and the strength of the competition and all this that needs to be looked at. And sometimes it feels like they don't. Like it should be like there's like a finishing like level to it. Like did you get a finish? Did you not? Did you get close? There's like a dominant factor to it. Like how dominant were you? Was it a split decision? Like there does need to be stuff like that, but it's hard. It's hard. Like a lot of fights. Like what's another close fight that happened recently? What's a close fight that happened recently? Strickland Chimaev, great example. I thought Strickland obviously won. You still have people saying that Chimaev won. Is that bias? Is that they can honestly think that Chimaev won? It's a hard thing to say. Yeah, you got a point. It's just weird with MMA. It's very hard. Like I said, it's such a personal bias and like such a feeling sport, and like so many things are based on opinions and what you think a fight how you think a fight went. Like I said, for the Sandhagen Batista, I thought Batista won, but you could probably if you had a good enough argument, you could probably make me think, yeah, maybe Sandhagen did win that. Like you can't do that in other sports. You can't do that in soccer. You can't do that in football. You can say maybe that a better team, the worst team beat the better team. Oh, they got lucky on this call. They got a lucky blank. Oh, this happened, so that was lucky. But it's still at the end of the day, that team won and that team didn't. For MMA, it's this guy won. Did he? I don't know. It's hard. So annoying how MMA fans will call any close fight a robbery. That's true too. A lot of people are bitter, so they just call anything a robbery. Like I don't think Batista was a robbery last night. But you have a super high level grappling match, and this one with low IQ bombs will vote 6 out of 10 for both guys. That's true. Like the Batista Sandhagen, I hate to keep on going back to it, but that had some sick grappling. It was a little some of it was a little boring towards like the end because they were both gassed and they were having some crazy fights and that was a very technical good fight. But like you'd have some people out of hate and spite and hatred say, "Oh, Batista had like an awful performance and Sandhagen's the guy who really won that," and they just give Batista a bad score because they feel a little salty, they feel a little spiteful that think Sandhagen got robbed. Same thing for Chimaev. You can Chimaev Strickland. Those I hate that those are the only two I can think of right now. What's another close fight? Let's rack our brain. Visiev Torres. There was that. But yeah, like you just said, is a perfect example. Some people also just enjoy different parts of MMA. Some people love striking. Some people only love grappling. So it's like how do you properly vote that with what's it called with being non-biased? If you don't like grappling, you Hank versus Pereira won. Perfect example. Perfect example. Hank versus Pereira won. I thought Ankalaev won that, but it was a very close fight. You could make some arguments for Pereira, with how Ankalaev was stalling. Like, do you factor stalling in rankings? Do you factor stalling in fights? Like stalling in MMA is kind of like doing a tush push in the NFL. It's like, do we allow that? But it's legal. So I don't know. It's a hard thing. if you don't also knowledge is such a large part of MMA, because if you have no idea about grappling, if you have zero grappling IQ and you don't know what's happening when certain grappling exchanges are occurring, are you able to rate that properly? Same thing for striking. If you don't know striking at a fundamental level, are you able to rate on that? It's hard. Because these judges, oh my goodness, one judge last night gave Sandhagen round 1 and didn't give him round 2. I forgot who it was. Let me actually see. I could probably check it real quick. One judge last night gave Sandhagen round 1 and not round 2. I don't know. But that's just how it is. Like if he gave him round 1 and 2, I'd be a little on round 1, but everyone agrees on round 2. It's weird. Let's see. Chris Lee, Sandhagen, his score was 28-29, 29-28, but he gave Corey Sandhagen round 1. Gave Batista rounds 2 and 3. What do you think about Batista Corey? Thought it was a very close fight. Very, very close fight. Like I said, I can see arguments for Sandhagen winning, but I really think Batista won. I think if Batista, the thing is it's all how you think that final submission goes. Like, do you think because the submission was kind of after the bell, do you count that he popped his leg out of place or did something to his knee? And also, it's like it didn't affect him that much. If it's too late to figure this out, I'm gonna go to sleep. TC people, see you later, Mr. Moza. Hope you enjoyed. It was nice. It was a nice conversation. It's hard to talk about this stuff, but it was a good conversation. So see you, Mr. Moza. Armin Garcia. Armin Dog Garcia, or is it Armando Garcia? Armando Garcia. I'm smart, dude. I figured it out. Armando Garcia. Armando Garcia, Mr. Garcia. Like I said, how do you rate that buzzer beater submission for Batista? I think I wouldn't be surprised because, like I said, in round 1, you think won't see Mac again, right? Probably not. He's probably done. But in round 1, at the end of round 1, you think, oh, Corey Sandhagen's knee is messed up. He's limping. He's not going to be able to fight anymore. He's going to get TKO'd. And then he fights the rest of the fight with little to no issue from that leg. So, is there retroactive scoring for round 1? Do you go back and go, well, that submission actually didn't really cause anything too crazy? Do we give that submission attempt more, I guess, points or more credit than we do those two, that hook and head kick that Sandhagen landed on Batista? It's very weird. Very, very weird. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see McGregor again. We probably won't. The Mac, unless he can come back quick, like if he can come back in less than a year, or like from between like a year and a half, if he can come back between then, maybe. Haha, I'm from Mexico. Maybe Batista won clear, but it was close for sure. Yeah, but I thought Batista won. Just because of that Sulia or that knee bar or whatever he was putting Sandhagen in at the very end. But like I said, because it had no effect on Sandhagen, like hindsight, that submission attempt at the end of round 1 didn't really do too much to Sandhagen. But it's still, it's weird. But I do think Batista won. And I picked Sandhagen. I think Batista won and I picked Sandhagen. So I think that's pretty a non-biased thing. I think Batista won. But again, am I gonna hate you for thinking Sandhagen won? No. I think close fight. I think, like Mr. Wallpaper Setting said, people calling it a robbery is kind of annoying. Because close fights are close fights. Just because you can see both fighters winning does not mean it's a robbery. It was just a close fight. Like if it was a robbery is when one guy clearly won and lost. Sandhagen did not clearly win. Now Batista didn't clearly win either, but that's why I think it should have been a split decision. But even then, I wasn't mad at, I wasn't upset at a unanimous decision for Batista. I wasn't upset at all. Matt comes back, who do you think he should fight? I think it's Chandler. I don't see any other guy he can defeat. That's what I was saying earlier. I know you missed it, but earlier I was saying Chandler, if they just put Chandler on ice, make him wait. He wants to go up to welterweight either way. He's by himself going up to welterweight. Put Chandler on ice. Say, hey, if you wait, we can maybe get you another McGregor fight. That's the fight you have to make. Either that, or you do like if you want like the easier fights are at lightweight though. In my opinion, I think McGregor would absolutely style on like a Fiziev probably if he still has it. He'd probably beat Fiziev. He'd probably beat Dan Hooker. Like Grant Dawson, he could probably chin Grant Dawson if we're being honest. But like welterweight's a little bit harder for these like lower ranked guys. Like maybe he'd like chin D-Rod. But like there's some killers at this lower ranked, unranked area. Maybe Joaquin Buckley. Maybe if he fights Joaquin Buckley at welterweight, that'd be a good comeback fight. Edwards maybe? Leon Edwards? I don't know. It's weird. It's a tough thing to come back to. But he may just have to retire. He may just have to retire. I don't know. I don't know what else he could do. Maybe if Usman loses to DDP, you do Conor McGregor, Kamaru Usman. If Usman wants to wait for that and meet him at welterweight, that could be a sick fight. Sick fight in terms of name value. I think it'd be boring, but you know, who's next in the line for Gaethje? It has to be, for me, it has to be Armin. I don't think they're giving it to Armin. The thing is, I think you do have to give it to Charles or Armin. You have to give it to one of them. Armin's coming off of beating Dan Hooker, but he beat Charles Oliveira literally 2 fights ago because he doesn't fight. I think I would prefer just to have something new. Would be Armin to fight Gaethje first, and then either you have Oliveira wait or give Oliveira like a roofie, give Oliveira like a Paddy Pimlet or something. Because I just want somebody new at the top. Because if we just do Gaethje Oliveira 2 again, it's gonna be a sick fight. Don't get me wrong, but still, it's like I'd much rather have something new at the top. I think Leon also Buckley would destroy Connor if he doesn't retire. Only seeing against Chandler. Buckley is weird. Leon, I could see what you're saying. He'll just out grapple him, maybe out kick him at range, just do a point heavy thing. But Buckley, with the way Buckley fights, how he does his blitzes in, I could see if McGregor still has a bit of McGregor left in him, he could counter Buckley. Now, of course, Buckley could just first blitz, knock him out cold, boom, he's done. That's something else. But I think his best chance at winning would be against Chandler. And then if you can't find anybody else, like if Chandler's done, he's retired, he doesn't want to come back, then like Buckley's like his second best option to come back to at welterweight. Again, I do think he destroys Dan Hooker at this. With the way Dan Hooker's been looking, maybe not, but maybe Dan Hooker would play that long, lanky game and just stay out of McGregor's reach. Like again, he'd probably chin Grant Dawson at lightweight. You know, Quillen Sal killed would be a fun fight for McGregor because Salkild's kind of unproven, but Salkild would definitely grapple in that. So maybe you do McGregor roofie and just pass the torch. Like at some point, you do have to think: do they kind of sacrifice McGregor? Like let someone destroy him, but then would McGregor take a fight where he's like clearly the guy to get destroyed? I know Holloway was kind of that same fight where they're just like giving all of McGregor's hype to Holloway for him to just destroy, but still, you know. Holloway, there was at least like the legacy value too for McGregor. You know, he's a big name. Do you give McGregor kind of an unknown name so that you can build the reputation off of beating McGregor? It's weird. Very, very weird. I'm gonna stay live for 4 more minutes. I've been live for 2 hours. I'm sorry you just joined Mr. Armando Garcia. If you want to subscribe, I will be live streaming probably tomorrow after I work out. Come back, live stream for a couple hours late at night. This is normally when I live stream, but you know, I'll probably give it to like it's 1 in the morning for me, so I probably should go soon. For sure, Connor wins if he still has some matching in his hands. But after yesterday, I don't think he's the same. Even if we didn't see a lot, I think he's not even fast as he used to be. Yeah. The main question is just, does he have that power still? If he has that power and he's got a little bit of that reaction time, he could still make it work. But yeah, he definitely doesn't have the fight IQ. Throwing 2 high kicks off of a bad leg. What are we doing? What are we doing? McGregor, come on, dude. But I see what you're saying. Again, I think Buckley and Chandler are kind of like, oh, Brandon, I'm gonna go strike at you and run into stuff. Enough for McGregor to get it. And then Grant Dawson is so chinny enough. No problem, bro. Just scrolling around your stream. Just subscribe. Thank you, man. Thank you. Like I said, I may make a video tomorrow morning where like every fighter to make to every fight to make next, because that hasn't been made by any big. Actually, bedtime just did it, but I'll do it better, dude. We do it better around here. Probably not, but we do it mediocre around here. Okay. But yeah, like I said, I stream around this time every night. Stop in next time. Like I said, I've been live for 2 hours. I'm probably gonna go to bed. But pleasure talking to all of you. Wallpaper settings, if you're still here. Michael Blasco, if you're still here. John Gooden. Armando Garcia. I'll see you all hopefully tomorrow. Probably live tomorrow. But don't be funny. Make some money.